The days of NBA superstars gutting it out for 82 regular season games have come and gone. It's kinda soft. But for players more interested in titles than regular season success, it just makes sense. And as reasonable as health first is, it's also understandable for former pros to condemn those who manage their basketball loads. It goes both ways. Sir Charles Barkley hates load management, but he's also the same guy who missed playing time after burning his corneas with lotion at an Eric Clapton concert. Then there's the truth of load management. Literally, the truth. There may not be a better counter-argument to load management than Paul Pierce in his heyday. The truth was one of the toughest guys in the league, and he's got a story to prove it. This 10-time All-Star and NBA champion was regarded as one of the most brutal defensive assignments in the league. Pierce may have eyebrow-raising takes on ESPN in his post-NBA career, but he had an experience that'll make you forget all about that. I'm Frank Smith, and this is the story of how Paul Pierce heroically played a full NBA season just 1 month after being stabbed 11 times and nearly dying.
And the dagger represents the curse going through it.
Our tale begins on a cold Boston night, which is how most of Pierce's signature nights began. Sadly, this would end up being a night to forget. The date was September 25th, 2000. Beyoncé's group Destiny's Child was on top of the charts, and the NBA season had not yet started. Pierce was only in town for a charity golf tournament hosted by Celtics legend Red Auerbach. After the tournament concluded, Pierce and his teammate Tony Battie decided to go out in the town. They ended up at the Buzz Club, a nightclub that didn't have a squeaky clean reputation. In fact, the Buzz Club had a history of violent occurrences. Pierce's assault would be the third to happen in that same year. Pierce is a 6'7" dude who had already made a name for himself in Boston, so no matter if he was a target before his night out or not, there is no way he could have predicted what was about to go down. By nearly all accounts, Pierce was minding his own business in the club when a fight broke out. Some say Pierce stepped in to break up the melee, some say he was caught in the middle of the brawl. Regardless, Pierce ended up getting stabbed 11 times with both a knife and a broken bottle. To this day, the Celtics star claims that the whole stabbing was a setup. Pierce says that because he was talking to a woman who was related to one of the attackers, he was then brutally mauled. The details of the attack are not pretty. Legitimately, no matter how you feel about Paul Pierce, this is horrific, scary, and all the words that connote fear. Pierce sustained stab wounds to the chest, back, neck, and even face. One of the wounds penetrated his lung and collapsed it. Pierce was rushed to the hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. He lost so much blood that Pierce thought he was going to die. Perhaps the only thing that prevented this from happening was his choice of apparel. Pierce chose to wear a leather jacket that night, and the stylish pick prevented broken glass and metal from penetrating deeper than it normally would have. Without the jacket, Pierce's body would have succumbed to the deep wounds. The injury was obviously devastating, but it didn't just leave physical scars on Pierce's chest and back that can still be seen today. It mentally wrecked the C's legend. After the stabbing, Pierce suffered from anxiety, paranoia, and even depression. He had no idea whether the stabbing was the last attack he would sustain. He couldn't walk into crowded places without breaking down. A 24/7 security detail could not completely alleviate his fears. Even the fact that his 3 attackers were locked up didn't help. William Ragland, the main perpetrator, got a sentence of 7 to 10 years. Pierce wasn't the first man Ragland had attacked. He already had a 21 to 25-year sentence he received when he was only 14 years old for shooting and killing a man. But the stabbing came at the best time it could, if there is such a thing, which obviously there's never a good time to be poked by a sharp object in your lung and general torso area. But Pierce had 1 month to recover before the regular season started. Realistically, no one expected Pierce to return for the first Celtics game. The man had literally been on death's door less than 40 days ago. How the hell was he going to be NBA ready, let alone effective? Pierce was about to show them. He miraculously recovered from his physical wounds and talked to family members to heal his psychological scars. Pierce blew everyone's mind by not only being ready for the regular season, but also being ready for training camp. By the time opening night rolled around, Pierce was itching to get on the court. The team captain put on his jersey and led Boston to a blowout 103-83 win over the Pistons. Pierce played almost 39 minutes and scored 28 points. The feat in itself is impressive, but Pierce's stamina throughout the season is even greater. Let me put on my old man hat for a second. In today's league, the best players sit out games for load management and bogus injuries all the time. Playing 82 games is almost unheard of for stars. But Pierce was a different talent playing at a different time. He suited up for every single one of the Celtics games, averaging 38 minutes a night. He managed to put the attack in the back of his mind and finished as one of the league's top scorers. Pierce's determination and mental fortitude served him well throughout the rest of his career. In the 10 years after the stabbing, Pierce was an All-Star 9 times and won a championship for the franchise he laid it all on the line for. So while he might be busy giving controversial takes that make nearly everyone snicker, don't forget that this guy went through hell and back and was still giving the best players in the league buckets for 6 straight months. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to the stellar team at ClutchPoints who produced this. I'm Frank Smith. You can follow me at FMS_Frank Smith, and you can follow ClutchPoints at ClutchPoints. For more mini documentaries, head to our ClutchPoints Facebook, YouTube, or IGTV. Until next time.